Tonight on To The Point, the death toll rises in Maui. Local emergency responders head to the island, and there are ways that you can help. Using AI to detect California wildfires, how more than 1,000 cameras are aiding firefights. And COVID is back on the rise, what you should be doing now.
Good evening. This is To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. The death toll continues to rise in the Hawaii wildfires. California emergency responders are helping in the search and rescue efforts. And there is a way that you can help too. You can actually scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen if you want to go ahead and make a donation through the Red Cross. Now, most of the damage in Hawaii is on the island of Maui. The historic town of Lahaina, a popular tourist spot, is essentially wiped off the map. 67 people are now confirmed dead, and that number is expected to rise. More than 1,000 people are still unaccounted for. The fire stormed through the neighborhoods in the middle of the night, and people drove to beaches and jumped into the ocean just to survive. And tonight we do have new video of what conditions were like in the firestorm. Take a listen. This video was taken by a retired member of the Air Force. He filmed his desperate escape from the fire in Lahaina. And it's believed that at least 1,000 buildings are destroyed. Residents are starting to return to their homes to see what's left. President Biden declared an emergency declaration yesterday as residents say that they've never seen anything like this before.
People lost everything, homes, jobs, their cars, some their pets. There's still people missing. I've fought wildfires in California, and I was here yesterday when it flared up, and I've never seen something ravaged so fast.
Tonight, big questions remain after the island's emergency warning sirens apparently did not go off when the fire was headed toward Lahaina. Our Becca Habecker joins us now with more on local emergency response in Hawaii.
Yes, altogether, Governor Newsom authorized Cal OES to deploy 17 urban search and rescue experts from California. They include one battalion chief from the Sacramento City Fire Department. I spoke with his colleague about what's being done to help in the aftermath. When disaster strikes, the Sacramento Fire Department responds, whether here in the capital city or wherever FEMA and the governor send them.
It's very impactful for our agency to be able to send people out the door to help.
Captain Justin Sylvia says Sacramento Fire Battalion Chief John Irvine deployed to Maui this week and is helping with communications.
He gets briefed on what's going on, what's the current situation like, and then he brings that information out to the community. He also listens to the feedback from the community. Maybe it's, my grandmother's still lost, we can't find her, she might be stuck in a house. He takes notes and he brings that back to the management team, and then they set up a plan to go out there and have some type of search.
Irvine is part of California Task Force 7 based out of Sacramento. Within the continental U.S., FEMA has 28 urban search and rescue task forces. 8 of them are here in California.
Our task force is probably one of the best in the nation, just because of the amount of training that they do and the dedication.
Sacramento's task force has deployed to disasters like the Twin Towers site in the wake of 9/11 and the Oklahoma City bombing.
Hurricanes, mudslides, tornadoes, any type of large-scale disaster where that local government can't handle that problem on their own and it becomes a federal issue, then that's when our team gets sent out.
The work can include sifting through the ashes of homes and other buildings, searching for human remains.
And that's why we have our canines that can go out and assist in those searches. But every structure will need to be assessed, not only for people, but what kind of damage is done.
So far with this disaster, Irvine is the only member of Sacramento's task force that has been sent to Maui, but others are ready at a moment's notice.
Becca, as we heard, urban search and rescue, they're ready for anything at any time.
Yeah, absolutely. Already this year, California firefighters, disaster recovery experts, and others have gone to Oregon, New Mexico, and Montana. And remember that condo collapse a couple of years ago in Surfside, Florida? Well, California sent specialized urban search and rescue teams to help look for survivors in that building.
And people are still wondering how a fire like this was possible in Maui. Many think of Hawaii as a tropical paradise, but the state has been dealing with a drought. Extremely dry conditions in Maui's western coastline mixed with high winds created conditions for perfect firestorm conditions just like this.
That part of Maui has a very steep mountain range, and the winds were coming from the northeast. They were descending, going up and over the mountain range and descending what we call the lee side. And when that happens, you get acceleration near the surface. And so you get actually faster winds on the downslope side or the lee side of the mountain range. And this happens in California, the Santa Ana winds, the Diablo winds.
Invasive vegetation also contributes to Hawaii's fire issues. Grasses can allow fires to spread more easily. And the deadly Maui fires bring back horrific memories for California fire survivors. This November will mark 5 years since the Camp Fire, which killed at least 85 people and completely decimated the town of Paradise. Mental health experts tell us that the Maui fires will take a toll on California survivors. The former mayor of Paradise says the devastation in Maui is a sight that's still too familiar for him and other survivors.
I had a tremendous amount of sadness because I remembered what it was like running from the flames. I remembered what it was like when I found out that my home and everything I owned, all of my possessions, everything, all of the memories, all of the memorabilia, was gone.
Data now suggests that up to 40% of people impacted by a wildfire will develop symptoms associated with PTSD. Recovery might take decades. Again, there are ways that you can help people in Maui. The easiest thing that you can do right now is donate through the Red Cross, or you can just scan the QR code on your screen right now for more information. A man is expected to be okay after being shot 3 times. This happened last night near the Sunrise Mall in Citrus Heights. Police are still looking for the person or people responsible. Driverless taxi services are allowed to expand to 24 hours a day in San Francisco. State regulators held an hours-long meeting before voting 3-1 to approve the expansion. There are safety concerns, including complaints from police and fire departments, but there are also positive benefits.
When I get into a Waymo vehicle, I'm able to do so without the fear of being harassed, groped, assaulted, attacked, or potentially worse.
General Motors, Waymo, and Google's Cruise operate these rides. Hunter Biden's case appears to be headed to trial, which could be held here in California after the plea deal agreement fell apart. Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss as special counsel over the investigation. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware says they and Hunter Biden's team are at an impasse after failing to reach a plea agreement on a misdemeanor tax and gun-related charge. The judge overseeing the case gave Hunter Biden's legal team until Monday to respond to the Justice Department's motion to vacate the plea agreement.
This appointment confirms my commitment to provide Mr. Weiss all the resources he requests. It also reaffirms that Mr. Weiss has the authority he needs to conduct a thorough investigation.
The White House is not commenting on the latest in the case today. Next, on To The Point, COVID is back on the rise. What you should be doing right now.
Highs today in the upper 80s and low 90s, but that's not lasting long. How quickly we'll see those triple digits.
And how more than 1,000 cameras are aiding fighting fires. More than 1,000 cameras are helping detect our next wildfire. With the help of artificial intelligence, these cameras can alert CAL FIRE crews about a possible fire. Recently, fire activity was detected in a remote area in the Cleveland National Forest in the middle of the night. Within minutes, CAL FIRE was able to get crews on the road, and that fire was stopped in its tracks.
Yeah, wow. And what I love about that is we've had these cameras, right? But now with that AI technology, it can do the job that people would have to stare at a screen doing. And if you're falling asleep, that can be an issue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
We will start to see some of our own fire danger, unfortunately, headed our way, as we are going to see some more lightning strikes and potential for thunderstorms into the weekend. Now in the Big Mountain backyard, it's been a little bit breezy, but hey, we're enjoying some of the breeze when it comes to hot temperatures. Upper 80s right now in Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, and Marysville, with Tahoe cloudy at 64 degrees. Now as we look at the weather ahead, 93 to 99 degrees this weekend. The thunderstorm chances are still in the forecast, even as we approach Monday, the hottest day of the week, Tuesday, but hundreds kick off Monday through Wednesday as we are looking at triple-digit heat. We've been tracking those thunderstorms today from Mammoth Lakes moving up and over toward the Nevada state line here toward Kirkwood. As we've looked at Twin Bridges, also seeing some downpours and thunderstorms in that area for the afternoon. Now into your Saturday, we're also seeing a pretty wide area here that is going to be affected by thunderstorm chances, as we will see some clouds rolling through the Sacramento area. We do have potential to even see some thunderstorms lower in the foothill spots and could even get it to areas near Citrus Heights and Roseville, all the way down towards Sacramento in the afternoon, evening hours. So just be aware of that as you look at the Futurecast radar. You can see it by Saturday afternoon, kind of pushing toward areas around Arnold, Sonora, and Yosemite. But as we move into the evening, they kind of push towards Sacramento as well. So there may be some slight chances there. And again, another slight chance moving into Sunday as you see more of that activity pushing through areas and headed towards Sonora and Arnold, Calaveras, Big Trees areas as well. Lower foothills, mid to low 90s, and you could see pushing upper 90s there in Ione and even triple digits. Bay Area temperatures looking at those mid 70s in Oakland, low 70s in San Francisco, and into the Sacramento, San Joaquin Valley spots, mid to upper 90s as we move into your Saturday and Sunday. You're looking at very warm temperatures there, but we'll see those mid to upper 90s Saturday, upper 90s to triple digits Sunday, but really in the triple digit zone there from Monday to Wednesday, finally dropping off into those upper 80s and low 90s through the following weekend.
Next on To The Point, COVID is back on the rise. What you should be doing now. Welcome back. It's a summer with another COVID surge. Positive cases and hospitalizations are up across the country, but the good news is that it's not as bad as past surges. The latest increase in cases is due in part to the new variants of the virus. They are evading the current vaccine's protections. Immunity is also waning. The warm weather is bringing people indoors, and crowds are gathering for large events too.
There's also simultaneously an uptick in cases in Ireland, in the UK, in France, in Brazil, and China, and Japan, and in Australia and New Zealand. So no matter where you go, you come back. And then there are big concerts like Taylor Swift, bringing a lot of people together.
Doctors' advice is to mask in crowded areas. High-risk patients should consider treatments like Paxlovid if they test positive, and a new vaccine is set to come out in mid to late September. Millions of people are still suffering from long COVID. Two new initiatives by the federal government are looking at why symptoms continue for months or even years and what treatments may be able to help. William Joy reports.
I couldn't remember how to get to the Smoothie King that I used to go to all the time.
Callie Dobbins had COVID in 2020 and dealt with hair loss. Months later, she was dealing with memory issues and still is.
I'll repeat things over and over again, and my children will say, "You told us that yesterday, Mommy."
We start seeing quite a bit of patients reporting to us.
Dr. Ihab Ajar was at first confused in 2020 why COVID wasn't just resulting in issues breathing, but issues thinking.
Not just brain fog, but I can't do my job anymore.
The professor also noticed African Americans were diagnosed twice as much with long COVID as other ethnicities.
So that initiated this haha moment, like maybe we need to further understand or investigate that.
They're recruiting 400 people to study the issue. This week, the National Institute of Health began trials for treatments. Up to 23 million Americans have long COVID.
We need it. We need it. Having a solution to help us would matter greatly.
Hajar says brain fog and neurological issues like lack of smell and taste are likely linked. But right now, memory games are the only thing considered a treatment.
We don't know the treatment, obviously. We're still kind of in the initial phase.
Researchers also want to learn if long COVID is permanent or if there could finally be relief.
Down the road, in 1 or 2 years, 3 years, maybe we will see a rash of people who have had COVID, but now they're having significant cognitive disorders and disabilities.
It's terrible. It didn't used to be that way.
And if you want to learn more about the potential treatment options and the trials that are underway for long COVID, we do have a link at abc10.com/tothepoint. Veterans now have until Monday to apply for backdated benefits under the PACT Act. The deadline has been extended. The PACT Act provides health care and benefits to veterans exposed to burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic substances while they served. It throws the door wide open for thousands of veterans and their survivors who weren't previously eligible. And every Friday, you already know we hit the back roads of California. Tonight, John Bartel takes us to a berry farm, and it carries a long legacy here in California and beyond.
The iconic berry made famous by amusement park Knott's Berry Farm is the boysenberry, a delicious fruit that's not too sweet, not too tart, and ideal for pies, pastries, or just popping them in your mouth. The boysenberry has a 100-year-old history, and its roots are now deeply embedded at the Boysenberry Farm in sunny Orland, California, home to Rudy's Original.
And when you're picking, you eat as many as you like. How is that for a wonderful experience?
Few people love boysenberries more than Pam Drennan.
I am a boysenberry enthusiast.
Rudy's Original is a you-pick boysenberry farm, and Pam says there's just something special about this place.
I would call berry picking a serendipity experience. Serendipity is a surprise, unexpected happening. And when you come out here, you're going to be surprised.
The taste of boysenberries will definitely surprise you, but if you ask owner Jeanette Boysen Fitzgerald, the real surprise is how her grandfather, Rudolph Boysen, developed the berry back in 1923.
The parents are Marionberry and Loganberry. Marionberry is a blackberry with olallieberry in it, and Loganberry is a blackberry with raspberry. So you're getting like 2 or 3, 4 berries in one.
Rudolph, or Rudy as he was known, had a hobby of cross-pollinating plants. He first developed the boysenberry vine back in his home in Napa, but eventually had to move to Orange County, where he became the city park superintendent for Anaheim. And it was there that he met another berry farmer by the name of Walter Knott.
The way he liked to describe them, when he described them to Walter Knott in 1932, was they get as big as your thumb.
Walter Knott eventually planted fields of boysenberries and started selling jams, pies, and pastries at his wife's restaurant, and it was an instant hit.
That was kind of one of the things that helped the boysenberry and Knott's Berry Farm become famous.
Rudy Boysen passed away at an early age due to a complication from a terrible fall. Jeanette never met her grandfather, but as she was looking into the family history, she learned that her great-uncle still had some original boysenberry vines growing in his backyard.
That's where all these come from. So they're descendants from my grandfather's original that was kept in my family.
Jeanette and her husband Tom now grow more than 2,400 heritage boysenberry vines, which attract more than 5,000 people during harvest in May and June.
This one over here. Look at this one.
Oh my goodness, that's a big one.
And some of the most enthusiastic pickers are kids.
The guests here put more berries in their mouth than in their bucket sometimes.
You can see it on the kids' faces.
Jeanette says that berries in the bucket are sold by the pound, but berries that make it into your mouth are free. And while you're working your way down the rows, keep an eye out for painted rocks.
We hide these for kids to find in between the vines.
Introducing people to the boysenberry is not just a job for Jeanette. It's a way to honor her grandfather, Rudy Boysen, the creator of the boysenberry.
My grandfather left a legacy that I can carry on.
From the Boysenberry Farm in Orland, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
And now it's your turn. If you have something that you think would be a great road trip destination, make sure you let John know all about it by texting your ideas to 916-321-3310. Next on To The Point, American Graffiti, the Modesto classic, turns 50 years old.
It's just between you and me.
That's the film, American Graffiti. Today marks 50 years since its release, and it's a classic point in time. The film, based in Modesto, was directed and co-written by Modesto native George Lucas, and it was nominated for 5 Academy Awards and helped launch Harrison Ford's career, among others. American Graffiti has certainly left its mark on Modesto. There is a festival with a classic car show every year in the city. This is video from 10 years ago when George Lucas visited Modesto to celebrate 40 years since American Graffiti's release.
Great that it's still around after 40 years, and and it's the whole thing of cruising, which basically the point of the movie was to show a lost sort of mating ritual of how it used to work.
Just last month, the city of Modesto lifted its cruising ban from the 90s. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a great weekend. Make sure you reach out to us, and I'll see you on Monday. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.